Surely now, lads.
It might work, but don't call me Shirley.
Don't call me Shirley. Not quite like
Shirley.
it. I've still got a camera with it.
Aye, what can
Pass me. Pass me. Pass me, pass me.
This video has ended, it will be available soon.
I'll get a new one now.
Yeah.
So I share it.
Svengali Sounds. Svengali. There we go.
Yay!
Yes,
Yay! Fucking hell.
Fucking finally, man.
Sorry, the sound's so bad, guys.
Yes.
Wait, listen, let's see if it's alright.
Well, we're listening, but we're live, we can hear it.
Aye, I'm telling you to shut up so we can hear it.
So I'm listening to me talk in the past at the moment. Now.
He told you to shut up 5 seconds ago.
This is Back to the Future stuff. Right?
Great Scott. Alright, fine, right, my phone's off now.
Your phone off?
Aye, fuck you.
Right, man. Fucking hell.
Right, good evening and welcome to the second.
You got to share this shit and fucking whatnot.
Oh, aye, that's a
You
good
got to share
point.
this shit far and wide. I'll get my phone out as well.
It's not like him to interrupt when somebody's speaking on a
No,
podcast,
that's really
really.
not.
No, not like
No,
that.
no,
Don't
no.
worry, watch the first one. There was more fucking sorries in that podcast. I've never heard Kevin apologise so much in my life.
No,
Like,
no.
Sorry, Paul. Aye, go on.
So, aye, obviously we were supposed to do this about an hour ago. But
These things aren't working. They just look good.
Yeah.
Like
a lot of shite.
yeah, we ran all the mics through about 2 different things. So if there's any like YouTube wizards on it, it wasn't even working through Facebook Live. We don't know what we've done. It's probably something really basic. We all do sound stuff. We all play gigs. We play with mixers all the time.
Not
In fact,
very well sometimes, but we do get it.
So that's the whole Svengali thing. Well, other than starting from Kev's original band, is like the whole idea is that we all play live gigs. So we know how to use this equipment, but like for some reason, getting our voices to come out through microphones onto the internet is becoming an issue. That's the second time it's happened as well. So I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Hope knows, man.
So if someone knows, ping us a message.
Yep.
Maybe that one person is watching us.
I think that was me.
Alright, cool. Well, if
I'm
you know at any point, Sean, then let us know.
I'm going to share it. I don't. But yeah, so obviously we kind of planned on doing this for the main reason that the fucking football's back tomorrow.
Aye.
Yes. Oh look, we are live. There we go. We're
That was
live
me.
there.
That was
I'm
me.
straight to
That
it
was
as well,
my
mate.
share, aye.
Yeah. So the football's back, which is kind of the main reason we decided to do this tonight. Oh, that's a Facebook Live map. That's not good. So
Does that show all our millions of users all coming live from Magdalene? Like, as a fact, that's our analytics. Our analytics there is like
I could
Sean
share
is our
this one. I could share this one public.
You have a listener 3 meters away.
So aye, obviously, like I say, the main reason for us doing this was that the football was back, or is back tomorrow, and thank fuck really.
Aye, it's been a long time, and I think.
Sorry, we've not even introduced ourselves. I mean, obviously, I was on the first one. Kevin
You
was
just cut me off again.
I know, but we should start off with an
No, he's
introduction.
quite right though. Like we never
Right,
do this in the
okay.
right order. Like,
Sean Mulgrew, aka Frankie Boyle, aka Charles Bronson. Mikey Ferguson, aka what's the guy's name for the Cure?
Robert Smith.
Robert Smith.
You're just a shite Robert Smith. Shite Robert Smith. As you can see, I'm in full fettle about the football coming back tomorrow.
Oh mate. To be honest, I've been fucking a bit. I watched some of the English stuff that was on with no fans, and I think I watched a few of the Celtic friendlies and that, and I don't know, man, it's a bit of a tough watch. Like.
I think when it's your team, I think it makes a difference, right?
Those friendlies I watched, I was a bit like.
But it's friendlies.
Right, true.
When
Like
we're
that
playing,
anyway,
when you're playing Aberdeen on Sunday, right? No, we're not playing Aberdeen on Sunday.
Celtic
are
are
we?
playing
We're
Hamilton.
playing Hamilton. So when we play Hamilton on Sunday, fair enough, it's
Well,
going to still be that same atmosphere, but I do feel that if you're supporting the team, you're going to get more involved with it, I suppose. I mean,
True.
are they showing the Hibs game or anything?
I know it's all in the.
We're Hibs.
Season ticket holders.
You've got to get a season ticket. So I think from October there'll be other platforms that you can watch the games through. But as far as I know, it's,
Sky have just announced that clubs can charge pay-per-view games to anyone.
Right.
How they see fit.
But at the
I think
start,
it's games that are not on Sky. I could be wrong on that, but
so am I right saying that? So it must be just for the first month. I've got the email here actually. This is what. Okay, so I'm a Hibs fan. I've got 2 fucking Celtic fans next to me, so it's going to be.
fucking Celtic.
It's going to be.
Exactly.
It's gonna
I
be-
know. I know.
I mean, it's going to be just like listening to any other fucking football show where all they talk about is the old firm all the time. Well, do you know what I want? I don't want Celtic to get the 10 in a row, and I don't want them to be Rangers. I want Hibs to get. I want them
to win the title.
Well, no, I want them to lose.
Wake up, wake up, son. Wake up is right.
Aye.
And we got
to shag Beyonce, mate.
What did Hibs say? Like 72 hours to go into the right date. So the only way you can see all the action live. This is the same. Mate. I can't think of anything funny to come back with there. Like the
Hibs@gmail.com.
Hibs@gmail.com. Yeah, so right, so I think this is the same with most of the other clubs. As far as I know, Hearts are the same as well. Hearts are the same as well. The only way you can see all...
No. I've just had a text for the wife to actually say don't slag.
Okay, I'm not slagging. All my family are generals, all of them anyway, so I'm not. I think the whole thing was very unfair, but we'll get around to that. The only way you can see all the live action from Easter Road, including the new match day production, the match, blah blah blah, is by purchasing a season ticket. The season kicks off in 72 hours, so this was obviously yesterday. I got this, or the day before, when Kilmarnock visit Easter Road. Big game. Final testing of the platform taking place throughout the day. The club have confirmed it will have pay-per-view available for matches, but with a number of the forthcoming matches on Sky Sports, it will be October before we are able to do so. As we focus on getting things right for our season ticket holders this coming Saturday.
They only announced it in the last few days. It was earlier this week, midweek that they announced that clubs were allowed. Sky obviously they've got the rights to it and that, and they said that you can sell them on pay-per-view, kind of like Now TV type thing. Look, there's the dog.
Look, there's Max.
Maxie boy. Shut up, you dick.
Hey, Max is attacking the Uber Eats guy.
Oh, it's the Uber Eats guy.
McDonald's
coming.
I'm not at a McDonald's. Well, you never guess from the fucking weight I've got. I'm not at like a McDonald's like since January. So I could probably
shut up, pull up. Fucking hell.
Really? I mean, we had teething problems where we couldn't hear anything earlier, but it's gone well now.
If you couldn't hear us before, you couldn't hear us now.
You don't even bother about the food. He's just fucking right up to the McDonald's guy. The Eats guy. Right, talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to grab a beer and...
Cool. Give me one as well.
Aye.
I think the big problem with the no fans in the stadium, and I was saying to Kev earlier, I mean, we're both season ticket holders.
Yeah.
So Nicola Sturgeon's came in and said that she's hoping to get some sort of thing in place that some fans will get back into the stadium. Now, obviously, we've not got a big derby this year, right?
Yeah. We have actually. We've got at least one, and that's the semi-final because the Scottish Cup has.
True.
We've got the Halloween derby,
and that'll be at Hampden, which is going to be really strange as well. You know, I mean, it'll be 50-50, but how many fans are actually going to get in?
That's true because the Hearts Hibs. I mean, classically, I mean, we've not done well against Hearts at Hampden ever, but the good thing about both teams is they're massive. Like, so I mean, obviously they're not as big as Rangers and Celtic, but the followings they've got are huge, and it's trying to get a ticket for those derbies. Is like you just can't. The stadium is packed. Like so I mean, how many? Usually it's 28 to 25,000 each at Hampden. If it's like a semi-final or a final, so you wonder how are they going to do that then? Is it going to be what?
Well, that's
10,000 each or something?
We've got obviously tickets for as part of the season ticket Celtic Rangers middle of October. Right? So if they decide that they're going to let some fans in and some fans not in, right? Everybody's paid for a season ticket. How are they going to do it to let the people in? And to make it fair, because not being funny, you pay over maybe £400 or £500 for a season ticket. Yeah, if you get an email to say, sorry, you're not getting to go to the Celtic Rangers game in October, but we're still taking your £500, right? It's no fair, right?
I don't think any of it's none of it's going to be. There's not. How can I put it? None of it's going to be fair, quote unquote. I mean, everyone's kind of not blind leading the blind, but we're all kind of figuring it out as we go along, and
but also
we're not in the kind of leagues that we can just rely on the TV money and go up and deal with it.
No, but it's not just going to affect Scottish football. It's going to affect every league in the world that's got a derby, right? If you sell season tickets, if you sell season tickets, I mean Celtic sold over 50,000 season tickets this week. Right? They've just announced that it's the most they've ever sold. Right? We've got a 60,000 seater stadium. If they only let half the stadium in, which is the only way they can do it through social distancing, right, by putting 2 seats in between you, how's it going to work? Right? It's a good. The one thing I find brilliant about it is the fact that no one's talking about it yet, because the league starts tomorrow. This should have all been sort of ironed out at the stage where they should have decided what was going to happen and maybe tell the fans. Fair enough, it's still at the stage now that the way things are going down south, we might not get the football that we want anyway because it should not kick off.
And it's that the whole thing's that fucking fluid though, that they can't just say, right, you're all definitely getting in at this point
and then say you're not getting in.
How many times did you hear Professor Jason Leach going like off the ball as well, and like say, look, you can heavy pencil this day for it, like, and he says like we could rip this back any time, and the closer the date got to the season being confirmed, you think, nah, it's fine, it's going to go ahead, and then you've seen like what's happened in England like the last like couple of weeks in that, and it's like, I mean, this is what I mean. The virus didn't disappear; we just incubated it. That's all we did. Like,
well, I don't think it's any coincidence that obviously it's all in the north of England, right? Mm. Liverpool had the title party, fucking thousands of them out in the street. Mm-hmm. Leeds United won the league. Congrats to Cut, by the way, if he's listening. I mean, Cut, big Leeds fan. They were all out in the street celebrating. Thousands of people. Maybe it's a coincidence.
That was a bigger win than Liverpool in the Premiership, by the way.
Well, I don't know. You can't compare them. Like Leeds are a big team, obviously, and like with the history of the club and stuff like that. But Liverpool at the moment are the best team in the world. Like back to front, they're the best team in the world. And whether you like Liverpool or not. But the Liverpool have always been one of the best teams in the world. Well, certainly within the top 20, and like they've sort of climbed back up to where they belong like the last couple of years.
It's been 18 years since.
Exactly. Thanks, mate.
It's been 18 years since Leeds won the Champions League.
But the reason it was so big for Liverpool winning that league is because every other big team has won it, and they'd never won it since it became the Premiership. So
89, I think was that.
It was 1990.
Was it 1991, I think? Or
maybe it was fucking years ago anyway.
Aye, it was a long time ago.
I had dark hair then.
I was a bairn. Aye. What age would you have been in 1989?
4. I was 85.
You were 20.
So no, 89 Arsenal won it. Mickey Thomas and all that. Liverpool won it year before.
No, it was the year after. It was 99. Fucking.
It was 8 to 9.
I'm sure it was 1990.
It was 8 to 9 90 season.
Anyway, it doesn't matter.
I don't really want to talk about English football. Eh? Well, I mean, there's a good comparison to make because you were talking about. We all started watching those matches when it came back onto like BT and stuff like that. And they were awful. Like they were. I think the first one I watched was like Norwich Everton, which was never going to be like a brilliant game to watch. I think, but it was just fucking terrible. And what it made me realise was that I've always like in your head there's not really a comparison between the Scottish League and the English League because the gulf in money alone like is enough. To make a difference, but what I did realise is we've got a way better product than we've ever given it credit for. Like, cause I think that a lot of the football that I saw on display was rotten. Like, I mean, really bad. Once you
marketed the right way, innit?
Once you go
That's
up,
all it is, man.
Once you go up like above the top 10 in that Barclays, okay, fine, that's a different level of class. But see 10 downwards in that, most of those Scottish teams could compete with them anyway. I think
with the money involved.
No, but they probably could because the money they would get anyway. They probably would spend more.
That's why in terms of money, right? I mean, you see, no disrespect to, I don't know, fucking Huddersfield, are they even still in the Prem? I think they got relegated, didn't they? But I'm just using them as an example. You've got like some Venezuelan guy earning 80 grand a week playing for Huddersfield. Probably did not have a donkey fucking clue where Huddersfield was before he signed.
The other thing is
that's the type of...
89, 90, you're right.
So apparently the team that gets promoted into the Prem, right, they automatically get into the top 40 richest clubs in the world, like instantly, because that TV money.
Yeah. See, the big thing is though, when you talk about the gulf between English football and Scottish football, which is absolutely huge, right? Sky have got a lot to do with that, right? Their marketing plan for Scotland hasn't been great over the last few years. We'll see what happens over the next four. Next four, they've got the sole.
We've been on BT the last few years.
They've now got the sole license for it. But one of my friends, good friend, Aberdeen sheepshagging bastard, says to me that comparing the English Football League to the Scottish Football League is like comparing Aberdeen to Hearts. Aberdeen to Celtic, right? Aberdeen might only have one physio, we've got 5, right? And that's the big problem. The money between the old firm and the rest of the clubs in the league.
I think Aberdeen are probably not the best comparison because they're probably the third. You can argue.
I think
they're maybe the third biggest team. You've got certainly Aberdeen, Hearts and Hibs.
I'd say that we're second.
So let's get back on to Scottish football then. So, obviously we're going to Aberdeen and all that.
No, but I was saying, like, I think, say if you were to say, like, compare Celtic and Hamilton, that's like a different thing. But Aberdeen they're a big club.
Yeah.
Aye. Anyway,
so I'm going to get the fixtures up.
Aye.
Right, and we're going to go around the table. The table. And and from there, what we'll do is we'll take predictions and we'll see how we get on with them.
are we talking about just for the fixtures for this week?
Yeah.
So BBC, Scotland, football.
Where's me pens? Oh, fuck knows. I'll listen back to the recording. The pens are on my bag in that box. In my laptop bag.
Right.
Underneath the wash basket.
Alright.
Scores and fixtures.
This isn't a real studio, by the way. This is basically my spare room where I usually work.
I'm glad you said that, Kevin. I don't think you ever would have guessed
No.
You can't really see the computer
Right,
in that,
so
but
starting
it's
at the
ridiculous.
top, first game at 12:30 tomorrow, Aberdeen versus Rangers.
Aberdeen's 2 strikers are out. If Morelos plays, they'll probably win now.
Morelos, I'll take that back. Morelos has been sent off in the opening game against Aberdeen twice in the last 2 seasons.
Aye, but again,
One was just in
you've got to consider how much crowds play into all that, especially at a place like Aberdeen, especially when Rangers go. Aye.
It's hatred.
I've
actually been at Aberdeen Rangers.
We've not even talked about it, like how much of a difference that's going to fucking make in those big
It evens
games.
up.
It does even up.
It evens up.
Because it wasn't in Germany like the amount of away wins.
Aye.
Like, and obviously in the 10 games or so each team played.
It's when a team like Celtic or Rangers bring like their insurgents like to like a small parochial team and stuff like that. Like that makes a fucking huge difference.
The announcement
pressure.
The announcement yesterday is going to make an even bigger difference. We've now got 5 substitutes.
Aye, which will help the bigger teams
Oh, I
obviously.
totally
Bigger
forgot about
squads.
So that's going to make a big difference because I think it kind of makes it unfair because obviously Celtic and Rangers, Aberdeen and Hibs are going to have the strongest benches.
Yeah. I think Rangers are going to hammer Aberdeen tomorrow actually. And
I think they'll turn
I like Aberdeen. I like Derek Kinnis. I think Aberdeen have got a good squad, but you're right. The 2 strikers are out, and this. Rangers really need to set out their stall like for the season if they're going to compete. There's loads of comparisons to be made between when Celtic, the quality of the 2 teams of like say when Celtic did the last time and stopped the 10 in a row, and you can argue that at the time Rangers had a better team than Celtic.
You don't have to argue.
And it's certainly the case. Rangers have got a good team, but Celtic are light years ahead in terms of quality and the depth in their squad.
So,
but I think Rangers are going to fucking hammer Aberdeen tomorrow.
Right, give me a number.
I'm 4-0 Rangers.
4-0 Rangers.
Yeah. 2-0 Rangers.
I'm going to sit on the fence with this one. I'm going to say 1-0.
Okay.
Right.
What's next?
Right. Next, Dundee United, St Johnstone.
Newly promoted teams always kind of typically start well.
Yeah.
And I think
2 new managers as well. 2.
What's his name? Mickey Mellon, is it?
Mickey Mellon for Dundee United. And
I didn't know he was Scottish. I've heard his name before. I didn't know he was Scottish.
The St Johnstone, the old St Johnstone player, wasn't it? Was the second in command? Took the St Johnstone job over.
Callum Davison.
Yeah. 2 new managers, 2 out to prove a point. I see a draw written all over that. I'm
going to say 1-0 Dundee United.
I'm 1-0.
2-1 United.
Think.
Yep.
2-1. They're both good teams as well. I mean,
St Johnstone have struggled, and I think that's probably one of the reasons Tommy Wright left.
They finished top 6.
I know he's in. I don't think they did this season.
They did. They did. They finished 6th.
Sorry,
the Hibs had to concede.
That's right. Sorry, that's accurate.
Typical firm fan doesn't care anything happens.
I think St Johnstone classically, they always started slow. It'll be interesting because they always started slow at the outset and stuff, and they always came good towards the end of the season. Tommy Wright had something like 7 top 6 finishes or something, and and that's a crazy record. But he never panicked or anything like that, even when the results were going against him.
I think a lot of his interviews was always about getting more players in, getting more players in. And obviously, I think I forget the guy's name. Jeff Brown, is it, the chairman?
Yeah.
I think it would appear they've kind of clashed a bit.
Which is always going to happen.
Well, one of the guys was talking on the radio last week, and he said Callum Davison, the new St Johnstone manager, because Tommy Wright was quite defensive and all that. Apparently, it's going to be the opposite. They're going to go out and try and attack teams and all that, which is all well and good, but
it's a risky business.
At the bottom end of the table, I suppose it's risky. But I'll go with United because typically promoted teams tend to do well. But again, without crowds, who the fuck knows?
I know. And the thing is, I mean,
we're all pissing in the wind here.
It's a good.
Right, so the next one is a wee team for Leith. I'm not too sure what they're.
Oh, we're here at Slag Teams.
No,
Leith Athletic.
Leith Athletic.
Hibs of Dina. Hibs of Dina.
Kilmarnock, first game of the season.
I'm gonna be slightly biased, but I think I'm fairly realistic when it comes to. I mean, obviously, I was joking about Hibs winning the league, but like I think I'm fairly realistic when it comes to results. I think Hibs are gonna give Kilmarnock a bit of a doing tomorrow.
I think Hibs have signed well.
Gogic in midfield.
Gogic.
I mean, you look at that. I watched that Hibs Celtic friendly on Monday, was it?
Aye.
And they had Malin, Horgan, Hanlon all playing, and I was talking to a couple of boys after that. That's quite a strong team. They were like, none of them will start, and I was like, shit,
they won't because they've got
strongest squad.
oh fuck, who they got? Dre Wright from St Johnstone. Who was it? Was it Colchester before?
Gogic, is it?
Gogic is like the
that was the marquee signing for me.
Well, the thing is, we've been missing that player in the midfield like for 2 seasons now. And basically, since we got rid of Bartley, like that's it. It's gone. Bartley and McGinn left, and we had no spine like at the back, and we signed really poorly under Paul Heckenbottom. But thankfully, that's kind of sorted itself out now. Who's the striker we got from Wraith Rovers as well? Kevin Nisbet.
Yes.
Kevin Nisbet as well, and he's a bit of a goal machine too. I think it'd be interesting to see how he partners up.
I think Kilmarnock will struggle this year.
Yeah, I do too. I'm going to say, as a scorer, I'm going to say 3-1 Hibs tomorrow.
Okay. 2-0 Hibs.
2-0, okay.
I'm going to go for 3-0. I think.
Hibs?
Aye, 3-0 Hibs. I think the players that they brought in, it's the strengths, like you said, it's the strengths that they needed. I mean, I can only talk as a football fan for watching teams at Celtic Park.
Yeah.
There was only 3 last season that I'd say that actually attacked us. Right. Now it's normally Hearts. Hearts didn't last season. Hearts did not attack us last season at Parkhead. They normally give us a really hard game. Hibs, on the other hand, last season, they played really well at Parkhead. Really did play well, but they were missing. They were missing something. They were missing the positions they filled. I think is going to do it this season. Whether or no
they needed a murderer in midfield. Someone like basically
they're missing John McGinn for the start, right?
Yeah.
That was the big issue. But then you've got Kilmarnock, who famously after that the boy that was the guy that does all the pretend rant videos. And he filmed his cell in Europe.
That Kilmarnock boy.
He filmed his cell in Europe.
Gordon Sawyers.
He filmed his cell in Europe going, oh yes, we're going through. And then the 2 goals and the death against that wee team for Wales.
Oh yeah.
Oh no!
I have to see that video.
We're going out! No, we're going out!
And he's like, I've just booked up for whatever we're betting for next round. I've just booked Cyprus for next week.
Right, so we're all saying Hibs for the next one then.
Yes,
St Mirren, Livingston.
Livy. Well, St Mirren have signed well at the back. That's basically they've got a new defence. It's 4 new defenders they've got. No mugs. St Mirren struggle most seasons. I think had Jack.
But for lockdown and all that, they would have went down.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think Hearts had enough about them to.
I think Hearts would have stayed up if they. I think they still had 6 games left, or 5 games left. That's plenty of time to make up, and there was nothing between them and the other teams. I think it's Gary, old Hearts player as well. Gary Locke. Not Gary Locke. The Livy manager.
Gary Swigan?
What the fuck?
Gary Holt.
Gary Holt, that's it, yeah.
Wait, Swigan?
Look for Kilmarnock.
I was about to say.
I thought Gary Holt
was that Norwich? Play for Norwich,
right, anyway, I think Livy and months.
Some football chat this. I get some fucking researchers.
I'm going to fire the research team.
Sean May's fucking phone sitting in the middle of
Google.
Research team.
Fire Google.
I think
go fast enough.
Livy and Mugs, I can see. I don't think that'll be a pretty game, but I think Livy are a good team. I think they'll win
so as quite often happens with promoted teams, is like in England, for example, Watford and Huddersfield, for example, you get 2 or 3 good seasons and then they peter off. Obviously, Watford, I think maybe they would have been in the Prem 4 or 5 years. Huddersfield, I think maybe spent 2 or 3. I think this might be Livy's year that kind of really struggle.
Holt's only been there a year though.
I'm thinking the opposite, but
and he turned it around. They were really struggling. Like when
and then we go into the AstroTurf pitch. I mean, how many teams struggled on that pitch?
Livingston, I'll tell you what, Livingston's pitch is probably one of the worst actually seen. And I've actually played them.
I played
last year.
Is it a bad question?
I mean, in terms of AstroTurf,
Just black balls.
Train on
throw
it.
up at you constantly.
Yeah,
I train on it all the time. Like,
on that. Like,
well,
So-
you can imagine what it's like for professionals that are not. I mean, I suppose they probably train on it in winter, but obviously playing amateur football, like,
Well, do you know the
train on it
situation?
all the time. You kind of get used to
Do
it.
you know the situation with Livingston's pitch though?
Hmm.
So Livingston own the stadium. Right, Livingston is a company on the stadium, but the pitch is actually owned by West Lothian Council.
Ah, they went out, didn't they? Like a lot of the amateur, I think the East of Scotland's all out there, and
I think it's a good thing that. Like, I don't. I mean,
It is, and the thing is, for our, like the place that I worked, they'd done a charity match there for mental health last year, and we thought we'd get in touch with Livingston. It was actually West Lothian Council that gave us the rights to do it. We weren't allowed to use the dugouts, we weren't allowed to
Really?
sit in the stand,
Aye.
sit in the main stand, but we were allowed to use the pitch, but you couldn't use any facility.
why would you not be able to use the dugouts? That sounds a bit. It's just
Because it was Livingston that owns it.
It's another seat with a shelter over it. Like
No, I
so
know.
I think-
No, they had covered it all up. It was a part that you could use.
No, okay.
So, result then. So what
someone
you
probably
thinking?
shat in the seat or something.
So what are you thinking then, St Mirren or Livingston?
Draw, one each.
Yeah, I'd probably go a draw as well. I think one each as well. I don't know. Kind of fancy. Nah, a draw. I think Livingston are the better team, but I think it's a draw. 1-1. Like,
2-1 Livingston, that's what I'm
Right,
saying.
okay.
Right. So Sunday, there's only one game on, Celtic Hamilton.
I think
I'm looking forward to it, man, because I don't want to get too much into just pure Celtic, but I think they'll come at the blocks flying. Got a fucking really good squad, haven't they?
Parkhead as well. I suppose.
And I think they've just got too much about them to.
I think on the game
Although-
on Monday showed that. I think. the game
I
on
think
Monday did show it.
we kind of. Like we were talking earlier about Rangers 9 in a row, and to be honest, on paper, far better team, but they just crumbled. I think they lost Gascoigne that year, losing that summer, and
Yeah, yeah.
Lindrup get injured early doors, and well, obviously that's totally different. But
Yeah.
I think Celtic's got too much about them, and they'll come out the gate storming
I
on
think
Sunday.
I'd expect two big wins from both Rangers and Celtic this weekend.
I think that'll happen. I do think that'll happen. I mean, my prediction for the game tomorrow on Sunday, sorry, I think maybe at a push of say 4-0.
I'm
Right?
going 5. Like I think it's going to hammer.
3-0, I'll go 3-0 then.
So 3, 4, 5.
Right.
And we've got a game on Monday as well. We've
Have
got Ross County Motherwell on Monday.
I think Motherwell will do well. Turnbull's back. I don't know, is he ready to play? I don't know.
I think he'll be at Celtic by the end of next week.
Think so? Yeah, I don't think they need him.
The only thing I find with Motherwell, because Motherwell are a good team and obviously excellent manager as well. Motherwell went on a horrendous run of form towards the end of last season, almost to the point that I think if they kept on the way, they might have finished bottom 6. Now I don't think they're going to struggle this season, but like I wouldn't be surprised if that was to continue.
I think they'll do well. See, the thing is with all those teams outside the big two, right? They haven't got the
Past
squad.
Aston, right?
Yeah, they haven't got the squad to typically throw a consistent challenge, right?
Yeah.
The
punch. Well, everyone. I think.
And I think what I'm trying to say is all those teams, your Aberdeens, your Hibs, Hearts, Motherwell, they're all going to have wobbles throughout the season because they haven't got the squad to maintain it. Otherwise, they'd be challenging for the leagues. I think Motherwell will do alright this year. I think for the most part, I mean, they gave Celtic a good few games last season as well, didn't they?
Gave Hibs a few good games as well.
No, I think they'll do well. I think Turnbull's. If he's not,
Motherwell's one of the teams that they're great defensively, especially. I mean, obviously speaking for a Celtic fan at Parkhead, every team gets 10 men behind the ball. Sometimes it's really difficult against the likes of Hamilton or Motherwell or whoever to actually get that breakthrough goal. Right, it's really difficult.
They're really good on the counter attack as well, Motherwell.
That's what I was just about to say.
Yeah.
The counter attack from Motherwell is a big difference, and I think if Turnbull's still in the team, he'll make a big difference in the early part of the season.
I don't see them selling them for January. I don't think they have to.
I'm just-
You'll
I'm
get
feeling-
it moved, regardless whether it's Celtic or not.
So, right, result then?
2-0 Motherwell,
Who did they play again?
Ross County.
Ross County.
Is it Ross County at home?
I've
Yes.
not paid any attention to anything County have done like in the last few years, so I've got no
Cool.
idea about that. I think Motherwell probably about.
They made
definitely
themselves
are
hard to
better.
beat. And they still got the two managers, and I think.
Yeah, too. I know
Celtic
they're
got a couple of
decent
good teams
managers
as
as well.
and-
Um,
I don't know.
I'm going to go a draw. I think I'm going to go 1-1. Like,
I was going to say 1-0 as well, so we'll go with that. Right, so the last question to do with the football, we'll move on to music in a few minutes.
Mhm.
I'm not running this, by the way, I'm just...
No,
I'm just
you're doing a good job at that.
So,
Compare.
last question, and we'll compare this at the end of the season. I want your top 6.
Ooh, okay.
at the end of the season after 38 games.
In order.
Yes.
Celtic Rangers, Motherwell Hibs, Aberdeen, and
Sixth, that's a tough one, that, eh?
Dundee United.
In that order.
Do you think
Aye.
United are finishing top
Do you
six?
think Aberdeen will finish 5th?
I think they'll struggle.
Why?
They've kind of, they've done well in patches, and I think it's kind of going to get to the point where they need to do better than that. And I think there's going to be a breaking point for them this season, because they're doing well. They're still kind of getting their third, fourth finishes, but I think something, and especially if they lose Cosgrove, which sounds like it may. He's injured now. He's injured for the next couple of months, but I don't know. I see them kind of petering away this season.
I'll go to you next.
Celtic Rangers. I do think it's going to go to the death this season, though. I don't think.
Think so?
Yeah, I think so. And I think Rangers are likely to buy a couple of strikers as well, because I think Morelos is going to go. If he goes, they need to buy. They need to buy big anyway, and they need to. I know they've not got any money, but they need to. This is their most important season, and it's worth spending the money.
I think if last season had finished, I think. Sorry, I've just butted in. I think if last season had finished, last season was their big season, because I think when Celtic got to 9, it's going to be very difficult to stop them.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion on it, but I do think.
Rangers fans probably would have said the same back in the day as well, though.
But I do think the way the league finished, it's given them the opportunity to really go for it this season. And I think if powers to be,
for them,
it is completely, because the thing is, they could completely change the league format for the following season.
Yeah.
Right, it might not be the SPL as we know it, right? And we've got 10. I wouldn't care if they fucking kicked us out of the league at that point. We've got 10. We're done. You know, from a personal point of view, that's fine. So, go for your top 6.
Right. So Celtic Rangers. I think. I'm going to go Hibs for 3 for third, just because of the signings that they've made. I mean, it might be that those signings don't pay off at all, but I think they had a strong squad anyway that they just needed to flesh out. They just needed more depth to it. Boyle at the moment still doesn't look well. Boyle's not been sold actually, has he? Like I should know this. If Boyle stays as well, I think it's going to be two.
He's improved massively.
Yeah.
Yeah. From what I've seen.
I think I'm going to go
Proper end product.
Yes.
Game and that, yeah.
Hibs third. I think they've invested well. Their team is strong now. Fourth, I'm going to go between Motherwell and Aberdeen for 4th and 5th. I can't really decide.
Okay.
And I'm going to go Livy 6th. I think Livy they're just a solid team. But I think that I'm going to go slightly controversial. If Aberdeen don't finish 4th this season, I think this is going to be McInnes' last season. Right?
Well, that's kind of what I was getting at.
Yeah.
I think they've kind of petered along and kind of, let's say, good bits here and there, and that. How can I put it? I don't think that'll be tolerated much longer. Not necessarily by the fans, but by him as well. You might get to the point where he's like, I think I've had enough.
He's a realist. He's a realist.
I heard him talk on radio a few times, and I'm like, I actually like the things.
Yes, he's a realist, and I like that about him.
I'm going to go Aberdeen 4th. Aberdeen 4th, Motherwell 5th, and Livy 6th. So I'm going to go.
Right,
You're so similar, right? So Celtic for the 10 in a row. Rangers 2nd. It's going to be close, but I think Hibs will clinch 3rd. Aberdeen 4th. Livingston, after watching them at home last season, I think will do. I mean, they finished in the top 6 this year, right? I reckon they'll finish 5th, and I'm going with Motherwell for 6th.
Alright.
So it's a hard one, because the thing is, you watch Livingston, and the games that I can remember, like obviously we go to the home games.
Did you include Aberdeen in that? Like,
But it was too close between them and Hibs to call. I think Hibs will do a really good job this year, and I think, like you're saying about McInnes, I think McInnes has got it in him, that he knows what he needs to do, right? And the thing is, you hear on other podcasts and stuff, right? You and Cameron wound up McInnes and the Aberdeen fans last season by saying that he's always the bridesmaid, right? He was second best for a few seasons, and now, like, obviously Rangers are back, sort of thing. I mean, that's obviously going to be a absolute bastard to him, because the thing is, they were doing well. They were doing well against us, right? Rangers weren't there to be competed with, but
I think Aberdeen should have won the league that year, to be honest. I think
It was pretty close at one point.
it was.
we played the last 4 games, didn't it? Like,
No, we played them in March at Celtic Park.
That was when Johnny Hayes scored first, I think, for Aberdeen, and then we beat them 4-1.
No, I think it was. I'm pretty sure. It could be. Pretty sure we tagged them anyway. But we're 4 points ahead with a game in hand, I think.
We did. Aye.
It was Dyla's season, and we beat them, and that was the closest it came, really. And to be honest, I remember back then it was never really in doubt, but it was kind of a wee bit cagey at one point.
I mean, the thing is, when you look at the last 5 years, I do think, I can only speak for experience because I've had the season ticket for a couple of years, or 3 seasons now, actually. This is my 4th season, and obviously Brendan Rodgers coming in made a big difference to Celtic. At that time, there wasn't a lot of money spent, right? But Aberdeen did have opportunities through that season to fill the points in where we started quite a lot. But like we said, it's not just about Celtic and Rangers, right? The whole league as a whole, I do think is going to struggle this year without fans, right? I think the lower level teams, your St Mirrens, your Livingstons and stuff like that, see without fans in the stadium, they're really going to struggle financially.
Livingston, for example, I think they've got something like 1,000 season ticket holders.
it's crazy. They give him
50 grand.
But that 1,000 supporters in
How
the
many
stadium,
It's like 500
How
grand.
many,
Sorry, 50 grand.
how many does the 20 mark? Is it 10,000?
Something like
10,000 back.
It's a decent stadium as well, actually. Like it's all right. I mean, you
They
think
haven't got a lot. I think they've got less than 1,000 season ticket holders. And
they're a new team. It's a difficult. It's like I don't
500 grand.
I don't want to be like disrespectful to Livy at all as well, but like it's a strange place to have a football club, and they're still relatively speaking a new football club.
Well,
And,
do you know
I was
history
a ball boy at Meadowbank before.
I was going to say, do you know the history of them? Do you know that they were originally Meadowbank
Like
Thistle?
Thistle, yeah.
Originally Ferrari Thistle.
Ferrari Thistle was the original one, that's right.
I was a ball boy for Meadowbank, mate. Anyway,
I'm surprised you weren't a ball boy for Ferrari, to be honest.
I'm not that fucking up. I was my mum's party when my mum lived at Craigmuller. My nana, sorry, her next door neighbour, who's named Lorraine Kelly, oddly enough, not the same one. She's a United fan. But
she's not like on the United board.
sort of like anyway, she was like, she went to one of the Meadowbank games. She said, I know the club convener or something. Me and my brother and a couple of mates were like 12, 15. I get a job as a ball boy. It was like a tenner a game. I think it was maybe a fiver a game. There was one game, Scottish Cup. Jim Leishman was the manager at the time. Fucking absolute legend. And I don't even remember Meadowbank, but it was like obviously the running track round the back, so we had to run and chase the ball. Scottish Cup time, 1st round, 2nd round, forget which. Jim Leishman comes out at half time before the teams come back out and went, lads, take your time getting the Meadowbank or go up. Take your time getting the ball and all that. So we'll do, Jim. So still in Albion we were playing, I remember this. So the balls came to me and I've like just went away, I tried to like dive in it. Like a shot back, completely like dived over it and it went away behind me.
A bit like what Alan McGregor does.
The goal was like, get the fucking ball, get the ball. So I'm like, I ran over and got the ball. And then I started running right back towards him, and just as I got to like 10 yards away, I just went like that, rolled it over. And the goalie's got mental. So anyway, Meadowbank ended up winning. I think it was still 1-0. And Jim Leishman came out and gave us all like a tenner each. Yeah, that's for you boys. So well done.
Was Mourinho always says it as well, like
the crowd were like, yeah!
Mourinho always says as well, and Klopp and that, like they always like go, like they give the ball boys like hard times if they're performing poorly. And Mourinho always says, and they go, well, in the post-match interview they'll say that ball boy was the fucking man of the match today. They say, Mourinho will say like, I was a great ball boy. Like,
see, the thing is, I mean, obviously. The seasonal play as it always does, right? And it's good. I'm glad to see football back. I really am.
You wrap this up before the fucking show.
I was just about to. Right, so we're going to have to touch on what this is all about, right?
Aye.
So this is a test tonight, just to see how things went.
There's no the guitar here. There's no.
It's not going to get used tonight.
Not tonight, no.
But
it's predominantly a music podcast. But
the reason we're going to do this is at the moment UK. Live music is absolutely dead. There's nothing happening. You've got your Facebook live videos happening every Saturday night for your, maybe me, you, or Kev, or whoever. But it's not looking like we're going to have any live music coming anytime soon.
No.
Right? As much as I love playing live and stuff, it's for the right reasons, right?
Oh, right.
Because you can't sing with a mask on, right? I think looking at a singer, you can't really see what's
Unless you're
happening.
in Slipknot, like.
But you can't see emotion in people's faces. I was sitting watching Pink Floyd. You're a dick. I was sitting watching Pink Floyd the other night.
Or Lordy as well. Remember that?
Okay, I'm going.
Alright, pal.
See you later, pal.
Bye.
So I was sitting watching Pink Floyd the other night. The Wall, Roger Waters' The Wall.
Fucking great film, mate.
But no,
The live show.
the new one that he done.
Alright, okay.
And I was sitting watching it, I was thinking, see if you had a mask on, you wouldn't really be able to tell what he's thinking or what he's, because you can only see the eyes, you can't like feel it. You go and see a gig with somebody with a mask on, not apart from the fact that you're not going to hear it properly. It's just you're seeing half a face, and you want to see that emotion in their faces and stuff like that. I'm not saying we look fucking amazing when we're up on fucking drinking
You
labours.
look better for the nose up, mate.
Fuck you. But
I was better for the nose down, that's it.
that could be anybody. But what we'll do is, hopefully, over the next month or so, is every couple of weeks get together.
Aye.
We're going to try and set challenges. I think that's what we should do.
Aye, this has obviously been a bit disjointed because we spent an hour fucking trying to get the mics working, but we'll try and have maybe a format next time.
Aye. So I think the first challenge that I'm going to say to you boys is the first song you've ever learned to play on the guitar, you have to play it in the next podcast.
There's 2 or 3, but
Did he say what it is?
No, I can't remember the specific first one, but there's 2 or 3.
I had to ask my mate Andy what the first song I learned on the guitar was, and it turns out it's a great story behind it as well. So
Right, can we just say that Wonderwall and Smoke on the Water don't count? Like, I think it's the first thing anyone ever learns, like, when they're, unless you learn Wonderwall start to finish. Or like,
it's the first song I ever played live.
Right,
Wonderwall,
yeah.
but no first song. Aye, Hollywood.
Right.
I think technically the first thing I ever played on the guitar was that yeah, that was
just said
it.
it.
Or Jaws. Jaws is another one.
I did
Fucking music teacher at fucking Hollywood taught
Mr.
me to play
Baker,
Jaws.
no,
No, it wasn't him. It was another boy with a beard that came in and taught us to play the guitar.
I don't remember that. No.
I taught me Jaws. And
I don't
fucking,
know music at
and then I went back.
Yeah.
But,
Right, let's wrap up there. Tell me what you got to answer for the shop shuts.
Aye, so thanks for watching. Anybody that's tuned in tonight, please let us know in the comments what it's like for the sound quality and stuff.
Yeah.
We will hit on it that we're probably going to try and put a wee bit of testing time in next time.
Yeah.
And we'll see if we can get it through the microphones and stuff. And if we can't, we'll just do it the way we've done it. Hopefully it'll sound good with the guitars and stuff. If no, if you watch it, it's good. But thanks for your support. Good night.
Cheers, mate. If you end this video, we would choose.